very much parish by parish. It's not something, we don't feel a sense of community with St Martin's. Communities parish individually. And I think a super constituency would actually make people feel even more disenchanted than they do already. I don't think it's going to do a single thing about voter apathy. In fact, with the thing about, I think voter apathy is set to get much worse in the future. And you can thank the senatorial candidates for the last election for that, because they misled the whole island. Because every single hustings in this island, the number one concern was, we're worried about immigration controls, we want population controls, and we want vetting. And every single senatorial candidate says, we agree, immigration is a problem, vetting is a problem, elect me, and we'll do something about it. The very first thing they did after they were sworn in was they tore up the immigration policy that the last government spent 4 years putting together. And they made the excuse that it wasn't fit for purpose. In all honesty, excuse my language, but it was total bullshit. And I'll tell you why it was bullshit, because that recommendation put by the scrutiny panel wasn't written on granite tablets. It was written on paper. It was a discussion document that could have been altered and changed. Now, I know what's behind this. It's big business driving the states to more and more cheap labour, and our population is absolutely going out of control. And the more people we let in, the more people we have to get let in, because there's more services required. Bigger hospitals, bigger police forces, which is actually going down. We're seeing such a negative consequence in this island. We're seeing an increase in knife crime, 140 reported rapes since 2016, sexual assaults against women, weekly occurrences in Jersey now. The sense of community in this island is absolutely being destroyed. And I don't think that this is really a priority for people. I think population control is the biggest priority for people. And if you don't take care of that, I don't think anybody cares what else you do. If you fail to address the thing that we're most concerned about, nothing else matters. It's all secondary. This is secondary to that.
Or even third. But I'm unbound to do it because of decisions of previous assemblies. And we have to, for the sake of our reputation, we've invited the observers in, and we have to do that. So what you were saying about immigration, I completely agree with. And I believe that people responsible for that immigration policy in the executive, in the Council of Ministers, should be coming to town, to parish halls and town, and talking to you about it.
Well, they're not, because they've got no intention of doing anything about it.
I think this exercise would actually be really useful if the subject was immigration, because people want to talk about it. Politicians don't want to talk about it because it is a very, very difficult subject, and there's not a nation in the world that has actually managed to solve their immigration problem to everyone's satisfaction.
I thought we should have had the debate. Even if it didn't win or anything, we should have let the elected representatives talk about what they felt immigration and control should be in that debate. It was there, it was tabled, it had a proposition put before it, and I was quite upset that they pulled the immigration
But it's really simple, it's not even complicated. You need work permits. You can't allow everyone that walks into the island the right to stay. Because we're actually going out to post-communist countries and we're bringing them in where there's no benefits there whatsoever. So when you come to an island and you say, well, after 5 years, you can retire on £35,000 a year in rental payments, income support and so on and so forth, it's like winning the lottery where they come from. And it's just human nature to take advantage of that. Now, we're paying out 680 million a year in income support. 680 million. And now you're going to increase that by 270 per person or per family or whatever it is. Is this, we're on a hiding to nothing. You said that immigration, we had to carry on taking immigration, otherwise taxes were going to have to go up. And now you're saying taxes are going to have to go up. So obviously that's not working. Sorry?
Well, that's an interesting point. How many people in the senatorial elections were you able to drill down into their immigration policy or the idea that they would raise taxes? That debate never happened with the senatorial elections. I mean, people trotted out their stock answers, but gone are the days when the 10 senatorial candidates for 6 seats got grilled on Channel TV by Alistair Lazell or John Rothwell, or that doesn't happen anymore. That's part of the reason why I say our system is broken. We should have meaningful elections where people with calibre from all walks of life are incentivised to say, well, I'm going to have a crack at that. There's 5 seats up for grabs. There's a couple of vacancies. Okay, there's some sitting candidates, but I'm going to try and I've got a chance. I've got a chance to get elected, and I've got a chance to make a difference. And I think that would incentivise people. If we look at St Helier 3 and 4, our biggest multi-seat constituency, since in living memory, since the 80s, it's always had 4 candidates, always had an election of between 6 to 12 people. So manageable.
And the worst turnout of 34% in the whole island.
But
they're
that's
claiming that these multi-seat constituencies are going to improve participation.
I think
Look
they will.
at St. Helier.
I think
St.
they will.
Helier is the exact opposite. They have multi-seat constituencies, you have many candidates, and yet you have the worst voter apathy in the island at 34%. The next person is at 42%. So, and you want to spread this island-wide?
That's many different factors involved in St Helier. Many different factors.
You can say that, but you're just slick.
The transient population, poor people or from the less well-off are historically less inclined to go and vote.
So why don't you, as
So
the
we've got to
deputy
reach out to
St.
those
Helier,
people.
work on that.
Yeah, we've
You
got
are
to do
a
that.
deputy of St. Helier.
Yeah.
Get your butt over to St. Helier and work on voter apathy in St. Helier.
That's what we're doing.
Leave the 60% voters in St. Mary alone.
Yeah.
Can we get back on point? There's 2 things that have been said. One, you said that people didn't hate it. I found that really quite an incredible comment. So
It's not comment,
hang on.
it's backed by statistics.
Okay, well, I'll give you my comments on it. 2, I worry about the parish system. We're breaking it already. Centralising things which don't need to be centralised. We're breaking the fabric.
In terms of?
In terms of social security, in terms of...
So you go back to parish welfare or...
I did it would, but look, listen, that's how out of control, that's not a subject. That's the fabric of the island as far as I'm concerned. To compromise, and perhaps get people like me on side, certainly. Let's make it simple, let's get rid of senators. You've got one category, well, you've got 2 categories of candidate, all voted for on parish level. What's difficult to understand about that? You've got a constable, 1 or more deputies. To me, that's really simple. 2, well, that would do it. You vote on the parish lines,
No
and
senators.
you get no senators. So you've got you've got 2 types of candidate, both with equal rights, forget this 2-chamber rubbish. And that goes down very simple. It also reduces the number of members in the state, which cuts the cost. Because I can't, for the life of me, I can't see why I've got so many. That's a compromise.
Can I just remind you of something that Scott said at the beginning of... I'm going to finish the meeting now, but can I remind you of something when you're all ready to finish? What about devolving more powers to the constable? You know, what about the idea of St Simon Crowcross's initiative for a town council? You could have a parish council too, democratise it, or get more people interested. There's lots of things that we can do with the constables.
Can I just touch on something you said about community-based services? The health, we had a public hearing today with the health minister on a scrutiny panel, and that is something that they're trying to put back into the community actually, because they're finding that there's so much stress and pressure on the central health system, and that there are a lot of things that could be provided within the community. So at the moment, they're trialling it at Communicare, where they've got sort of 3rd sector companies there. So this is things that people are starting to recognise, and the government is starting to recognise. They can't keep providing everything centrally. You need to go out to the people more. So that is starting, and just sort of on a sidetrack to what we're discussing.
But it's all the fabric of the parish I'm really talking about. Yes, by all means, decentralise, but let's not set up more bloody committees and bureaucracy to do it.
Can I explain to this gentleman that as I was actually asked...
Proud to be able to say that we in Jersey had our emergency debate on climate change, and it was motivated by the youth. They were in Royal Square. Rob Ward was the deputy who brought that forward through the Young's Action. And whilst I was still in Dublin, I got a further email that about free buses for children, again bought by the same deputy, and also a mother taking part in a economic climate walk that day. All I am saying is that the youth are making their voice heard already, and long may continue.
Okay, thank you so much, David, and thank you for having...
Came out in the last referendum that people of this island want the constables to remain in the States. The constables are the oldest office in Jersey's history. To remove them from the States is a fundamental undermining of the principles and history of Jersey. In terms of what you put forward here, you're doing exactly the same as the States Reform is doing. You're doing away with small silos, making bigger silos. Jersey's only got 105,000 people. It's like a town in the UK. Why are we looking at splitting it?
Yeah.
Do away with deputies, replace everybody with an island-wide election.
Yeah, island-wide mandate.
If you haven't got that, you've got the potential. The last by-election in St Helier, the successful candidate came in with less than 10% of the votes.
Yeah.
Doing it this way, you could potentially have a chief minister and all the ministers represented by less than 10% of an electoral district. Whereas now, everybody has a say, and the chief minister has historically always been a senator with an island-wide mandate.
Yeah.
It's quite simple to me. You retain the constables. The constables
So what
cannot
Guernsey-
hold
What
any.
you're asking for is the Guernsey system.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. The constables remain, but they cannot hold any ministerial, assistant ministerial, or chair any scrutiny committees. They're there to represent the parish. That's their fundamental role. You then have everyone else elected on an island-wide mandate. They are the ones that form the ministerials, the assistant ministers, the chairs of the scrutiny. Everybody has an equal vote and equal say in it.
So would you have the constables in as voting
Yes,
members?
absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
relative to their population or not?
Nope.
No.
No, one person, one vote.
But also the fact is
You've got to, as I say, the by-election in St Helier, someone coming in with less than 10% has the same vote as Simon Crowcroft.
we're advocating on a new one. I presume that anybody from the island who is a resident within the island can stand as a deputy in any of your areas that you've made.
Well, I don't think you should put measures in place to disenfranchise anybody if you can help it.
So you were advocating in this that somebody from St Martin can quite happily stand in St Juan or St
This is
Mary.
what
It
happens
is the
now.
case now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it's
So therefore, it will dissipate the whole regular system will start to fall apart.
Why?
Because they won't have, your deputy should actually, with your constable, your deputy should be the political arm of the parish. And should actually support your parish to the end. It's as simple as that. So the loyalty bit, again, is going out of fashion, I know, but
I don't think this would stop that, Peter. I don't think it would.
Because come on, you've got a party down in St Helier at the present moment in time. We put up so many candidates at some stage in this one.
So that's what this is about.
Yeah.
That's what this is about.
The party system will come on.
You're entitled to vote for who you want to vote for, Peter.
I do.
Well, look, so everyone else is allowed to do that
I use
too.
a pin on a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly what Guernsey have opted for, with a system of 38
That's
people
why you should have an island-wide
elected
mandate.
island-wide, known, of course, as donkey voting, because it's so random by the time you get halfway down the list, or even earlier, that you might as well be playing a game of pin the tail on donkey. So that isn't even through the Privy Council yet. I'm not sure that they're not going to be in trouble. So there is an issue with all island-wide if you get large ballot papers, because that breaks the rules. Because by the time you are halfway down the ballot paper, if it's 20, 25, whatever, you're in trouble. What you could, of course, then do if you wanted all island-wide is have a ballot paper of 10 and rotate it, so that it's tricky to set up, but not impossible. But you would then have rolling elections every year or every 2 years. I think people might get fed up with that. But take your point.
Senators used to be elected for 6 years,
I know.
Alternating.
alternating.
Yeah.
The general election killed that, didn't it?
Yeah.
But that was supposed to increase voter turnout and it didn't.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine other folks will do.